Okay. The World of Mr. Plant is a small TikTok/YouTube short series created by Asher, whatever the hell that is, that has blown up amongst the weirdcore community. The start of the World of Mr. Plant revolves around our protagonist, Mr. Plant, living his day-to-day life in his void. He seems to have lived there for a few months, 675 days. Voids seem to be different parts of their world and or houses. From what I can remember, the first episode shows Mr. Plant, a human/hybrid, one-half banana leaf, having company over it. This is where we are introduced to our second protagonist, Argos, who is a multi-eyed humanoid, 1/16th banana leaf. Argos seems to be pretty cheerful and trying to have a closer connection with Mr. Plant, but unfortunately Mr. Plant does not like Argos at all, and often fantasizes about violent things when it comes to his unwanted friend. A few episodes later, we see Mr. Plant watching the TV when he gets an ad for stars. So Mr. Plant goes off to buy one, but the Moon Man who was selling them gets upset when Mr. Plant brings $1, when the happy stars were $9.99. The $1 could only get him a sad star. The Moon Man shoved the sad star into Mr. Plant's hands, warning him that the edges were sharp. This is when Mr. Plant gets so fucking fed up with the Moon Man, and attacks him. While Mr. Plant is walking back, upset about his awful day, he runs into Argos. Argos tells Mr. Plant that he saw the star ad on TV and thought of Mr. Plant. Turns out he had bought a happy star for Mr. Plant. He takes the star from Argos. Mr. Plant no longer despises Argos at this point, and the two are now friends. Yippee! The next episode, Argos invites Mr. Plant to babysit a couple of flower children with him. Mr. Plant really isn't thrilled with this, but he follows along. Argos tells Mr. Plant to watch the children while he goes to get snacks. Mr. Plant is reading the kids a story when one of them chops off Mr. Plant's petals, causing Mr. Plant to snap and just kill all of them. When Argos returns, all the children but one are dead. The one surviving child was kidnapped by Mr. Plant. The child has its mouth duct taped because, according to Mr. Plant, children are nice when they were quiet. Fair, man. The next episode, we see Mr. Plant trying to get his driver's license. The clock, who was the driving instructor, makes a comment on how Mr. Plant is half banana leaf, stating, "Wait, you're half banana leaf? Banana leaves can't drive," most likely being a form of racial joke. I had to say racial because I did all this in my school. Anyways, where the hell was I? While the two were driving, Mr. Plant can only think of the comment that the clock made about him being half banana leaf. Mr. Plant is too distracted to notice that he's, about to crash the car, and so he does, and kills the clock, on accident this time. But Mr. Plant wasn't so disappointed, because he got a new clock for his void/house in the end. Yippee! A few episodes later, it's Valentine's Day, and we see Mr. Plant watching the TV. He gets an ad for, Valentine's Day, of course. Mr. Plant hates Valentine's Day for an unknown reason. I don't know, he just hates it. He tries to take a walk to get his mind off of Valentine's Day, but it seems like no matter where the hell he goes, the ad just follows him. That's when he finds himself in the heart shop. Mr. Plant kills the heart vendor because he's just pissed off. Meanwhile, Argos goes over to Mr. Plant's house/void to hang out with him, and is disappointed to see when Mr. Plant wasn't home. Womp womp. Argos returns home, only to be surprised by Mr. Plant with a Valentine. This is the gay point of the show! Also, turns out the Valentine was the head of the heart vendor. His head was just a heart. Monday with Argos is a specific day with Mr. Plant, but with Argos? I don't know, but anyways, Here we see Argos going to a new therapist after his first one, quote, dried up. That bitch was a fucking skeleton! He was already dead! Anyways, although not many people like the therapist that Argos has, Argos was just happy to be heard. Turns out the therapist never really cared and hated Argos. Argos finds this out because, the therapist's notes was just a bunch of doodles being like, I hate Argos, pew pew pew. Oh, I hate my boyfriend. Ooh, I just hate Argos. And yeah, Argos kills the therapist. Yippee! Okay, it's happy birthday with Argos. It's Argos on his birthday. His past birthdays weren't the best, though, because he was always alone and shit. But this time it would be different, because he had a boyfriend! Yippee! Argos and Mr. Plant are chatting when Argos asks if Mr. Plant was free this evening, because he wanted to, like, I don't know, go shopping, spend some time on his birthday, look for a new pet. Mr. Plant is not free. Argos tries to go get him. So, yeah. Argos is sad. He tries to go get himself some ice cream after his babysitting job, but is out of luck because, like, they're all out, and obviously Argos is upset. Womp womp. So he goes home, only to be surprised by Mr. Plant, who had brought him a present. The present was a pet rock. Never had a happier, better... Okay, a few episodes later, Argos is watching TV after a long day of work. That's when the TV plays an alert stating,
officials are warning residents of Void 241 to stay inside and away from a dangerous creature that might look like this.
Showing a shadow-like creature with visible teeth and two, like, orangish eyes or whatever.
However, Void News will offer a romantic trip to Black Beach for an official photo of the creature.
And, of course, Argos wants to go camping with Mr. Plant in Void 241. Anyways, Argos tries to take pictures of the creature, but couldn't find it. Anyway, and it got dark, and Argos was about to give up. That's when he spotted the creature. But instead of taking a picture, he invited the creature to the campsite, because it looked lonely. And then they all had a good time. Yippee! And then when Argos returns home, he finds a picture of the creature with a note that reads, from Trip, with an arrow pointing to the picture. The next episode, Mr. Plant and Argos are heading to the beach because they won that shit. Anyways, and when they hit a human, they hide, what do you think they do? They hide the body, tee-hee. Anyways, they head to a motel because, their car failed. Where was I? Yeah, their car failed. Argos is complaining due to all the things going wrong. He also wants to see a black hole which was near the beach, but just above the two, the black hole was there. So they shoved the dead body of the man in the black hole, and they both agreed that it was a really nice vacation. Yippee! Gardening with Argos is like a mini-series within the world of Mr. Plant, where Argos showcases a bunch of cool plants he finds. I'm not covering this because it would just cause more agony and pain, and you wouldn't even watch them! Okay, yippee, last thing. Anyways, a few episodes later, Mr. Plant gets voted as the boy superstar. He doesn't like this because he hates attention and wants to hurt whoever the hell nominated him. Turns out it was Argos who nominated him. So Mr. Plant let it slide because he gave him a sexual gay. Anyway, Mr. Plant tries to go about his life for the rest of the day, but keeps being bothered by fans of his because he's the Void superstar. And as he's trying to sleep, he keeps seeing people taking pictures of him. That's when Mr. Plant is fed up with this and just kills them all. Now he's on the news because he just killed again. Tee-hee. A few episodes later, Mr. Plant and Argos go stargazing! Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention this, but, like, Argos has been, like, mentioning going stargazing, like, hey, Mr. Plant, you want to go stargazing soon? And anyways, they get lost from each other, and we see Mr. Plant worrying about where Argos could be. And he's, like, going to all the other hikers, being like, yo, have you seen this dude? And they're like, no. And now Mr. Plant's sad. That's when the moon speaks to Mr. Plant, telling him that he saw a figure covered in eyes over on a nearby hill. Mr. Plant is relieved to be reunited with Argos, his boyfriend. When Argos questions if Mr. Plant was worried, he simply shrugged. The narrator said that he was absolutely petrified, though. They both look up at the night sky and be gay. Yippee! Anyways, there's more to this, but I ain't gonna cover that because, like, I am too tired.